Today, Krishna speaks about Kshetra and Kshetrajna to Arjuna. The matter in which we exist and the consciousness which stays in the matter. About these two clearly explains all of us are some way or other, whether you understand or not, whether you experience it or not, related to this whole universe. The consciousness, which is the root cause, they say Adi Moola, not only the origin, and it is cause. Please understand. Origin and cause. From where it comes and on which it stays. The whole universe, the universal consciousness, is the space in which we all happen. Here Krishna explains about the wave and the ocean. Ocean is universal consciousness. Whatever words you may use, God or Atman, Buddhists use Nirvana, or Vedanti say Brahman, and Muslims say Allah, whatever names you may use. But all these things means the same. The cosmic energy, universal consciousness. Krishna reveals the secrets of wave. We are all waves, and this whole is ocean. Krishna reveals the secrets about the wave and about the ocean and how you can experience the oneness with the ocean. Our only problem in the life is somehow we forgot we are part of the ocean. We forgot that we belong to ocean. We forgot we belong to Kshetrajna. The word Kshetrajna means the consciousness who is cause for the field to function. Kshetra means field. Kshetrajna means knower of the field. Kshetra means body. Kshetrajna means consciousness which knows that it has got body. Your consciousness is Kshetrajna. This matter, body is Kshetra. Here, today is revealing all the secrets which is related to Kshetra and Kshetrajna. If you don't know the secrets of Kshetrajna, Kshetra will start acting as if he is the owner. For example, a small example. You get a new car and you sit in the car, start driving. Suddenly after 10 minutes you realize you don't know how to stop it. You don't know how to stop it. If you don't know how to stop it, you are not driving the car. Car is driving you. Same way, you get into this mind, get into this body, you start living. Suddenly at one point, you see, you find, you are not able to stop your body or mind. It goes as it wants. If you have the habit of drinking coffee morning 7 o'clock, you don't have to remember by seeing the watch. The moment it becomes 7, inside coffee, the bell will ring. And if you are habituated for smoking, the moment that mood comes, any situation related to that mood comes, immediately you feel like smoking. The whole life, your whole system is not under your control. The body and mind starts living instead of you experiencing or enjoying the body and mind are leaving you. Instead of you driving the car, car is driving you. Same way, you get into this car, body and mind. When you are not able to control them as you want, when you are not able to handle them as you want, be very clear, you are not driving body and mind are driving you. You are not the owner of body and mind are your owners. That is what today I given that's why I gave the topic, eat before you are eaten. Control the body and mind, or body and mind will control you. Bring the body and mind under your consciousness. I tell you, body and mind both are good servants, but not good leaders. As a servant, they are great. Of course, without body or mind, you cannot live the life. You cannot enjoy the life. They are needed. You need them. But unless they are under your control, you will not be living, they will be living. Only two options. Either you will be enjoying them or they will be enjoying you. In the beginning, you can start smoking. After some time, smoke will be enjoying you. Smoking will be enjoying you. In the beginning, you will start drinking. After some time, drinking will be drinking you. After some time, the drinking will be drinking you. And in the beginning, you start the habit. After some time, the habit is living your life. The habit is enjoying your life. You are no more a living person. You are just a set of habits which is continuously repeated without your control. It's like getting into the car without reading owner's manual. Without reading owner's manual, you get into the car and start using it. Suddenly you realize you don't know where the handbrake is and you don't know how to turn this side or how to turn that side. Same way, when you enter into the body and mind without knowing how to handle them, you are in the same situation. Control, bring the body and mind under your control before you are brought under their control. Otherwise, they will bring you under their control. One more thing. Whether it is material life or spiritual life, unless your body and mind are under your control, whatever you think or whatever you want to do, whole thing is just waste. For example, from morning till night, you sit and make all big plans, analyzing all the data. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that. In the end of the day, automatically, without even your control, you just drink and sleep. What's the use of the whole day plan? Nothing. You go on creating what you want to do, but at the end of the day, body behaves as it wants and the mind behaves as it wants. Naturally, your whole life moves in a logicless way. Logicless way. You are working so much to lift your life, your body, your mind, and that goes as it wants. Then naturally we end in suffering. Life, the very word life can happen to you only when body and mind are under your control. As long as body or mind are not, the body and mind are not under your control, as long as the body and mind are not under your control, you will not be able to experience even the word life. Till body and mind are under your control, you are not living. Your engraved memories are living you. Till you experience the Kshetrajna, means the knower of the field, the life never starts. That's why in the Vedic system, only when a person, only when his individual consciousness is awakened, he is called born. Till then, his birth is not accepted. Please be very clear. According to Vedas, if somebody is considered a human being means only when his consciousness, inner consciousness is awakened, only when his individual consciousness is awakened, he is considered as human being. He is considered as person who has taken birth. Till then, you are just one among the animals. Till then, you cannot be called as Manushya. They say in Sanskrit the word Manushya means, of course, the Manushya has got two meanings. One is the descendant of Manu, and another one is man who can handle the mind, who has gone beyond the mind. There are two different meanings. Descendant of Manu. Manu is supposed to be the forefather. Descendant of Manu, and man who is able to handle the mind. Only when you are able to handle the mind, you become Manushya. Please understand, whatever you know is not you. If you can know something, it is not you. I can read because this is away from me. If you can know this body, this is not you. If you can know your mind, your thoughts, that is not you. If you can know your emotions, please be very clear, that is not you. Whatever is known by you is not you. You are away from that. You are above that. That is why you are able to know that. Whether it is body, thought, or your emotions, whatever is known by you is not you. Here he says, the body is Kshetra, means the matter, field. Consciousness is Kshetranya. Who experiences the body is knower of the field. Now, we need to separate these two. Once we separate these two, body also will be blissful, joyful, consciousness also will be liberated. When these two joins, that is where the problem starts. That is where the trouble starts.